Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Round Robin. Today's matchup, MVP Space, NRG.
And we are back at Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. I'm Doe, with me is Monte Cristo, and it's time to get into our second best of 5 of the night. MVP Space taking on Energy. And I don't know, what do you say about this one going into it, man? MVP Space losing their match to BK Stars, losing their map to Kongdu Onsia, and in those two best of 5s, they scored a combined total of, I believe it was 2 points?
Not only that, but versus Kongdu Onsia, they failed to take a single point in any map.
Yeah.
And got 3-0'd. They got beaten literally as badly as you can be beaten in Overwatch. And Energy, they're coming off a semifinal performance at APAC. There are some asterisks there. They did have probably the weakest group at APAC. They also had a weak quarterfinal opponent that they had already beaten in the group stage, and they eventually fell in the semis to Lunatic High. That did win 3-1. But as it stands, Energy looked like they were improving over the course of their run in Shanghai, did have a respectable finish, were definitely one of the top 4 teams at that tournament, even though they did have a bit of an easier time than, say, Africa, who played Rogue in the quarterfinals. But that said, still looking better and better as time goes on. We've seen some more unique strategies from them recently, either defensive bastions on Numbani, a lot of offensive Hanzo, clever Mei walls. They're Seagull, of course, known for his Mei, and they're a team that likes to use Mei boosts a lot. So they have some creative tactics to use.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people talk about, Seagull's Genji, his Bastion, all that. His Mei also very notable. But to me, the way he plays Mei is a little bit different from a lot of other players. They use Mei in such a utility fashion on that team. Like you mentioned, a lot of walls. But it's going to be interesting to see if that changes, too, because I feel like it has left them vulnerable from time to time. They were previously running a lot of triple tank. We've seen in Korea in this tournament lately, that started to be kind of figured out. Energy did sort of start to change things around a little bit towards the end of APAC, but I'm curious to see what they're going to run today, or really how they're going to run what they play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe Gods playing Widowmaker again, because back in the day, Gods was known for his Widowmaker play, and after the nerfs and the changes to that hero, it did fall off a little bit, but we have seen more Widowmaker being used recently. Envious bringing it out, probably most notably.
Oh, we just saw it in our last best of 5 for a little bit too. Well, here are possible maps for today. Looks like we're starting out on Lijiang Tower, something other than Nepal. The crowd goes wild.
Lijiang Tower will be number 1, and Energy will be looking to make a strong statement here in their debut in Apex. Remember, if you don't get 2 wins, you're pretty much out of this tournament. So this is a must-win situation for Energy. MVP Space already down in this group 0-2.
Well,
so,
I mean, if you look at the opponent, if you look at MVP Space's recent results, it really couldn't get much more of a softer start for Energy in this tournament. If they get beat by MVP Space, I don't know, man. The world's gonna explode next. I don't know. It's like putting a bag of holding into another bag of holding.
that would be a bit of a disaster there, Dom.
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, you don't even get to see the nice signs.
Yeah, lately they've been putting the camera on us during these segments where they used to just show like the crowd and stuff, but now you guys don't get to see the cheerful. Sorry. I mean, we're kind of cheerful. I feel cheerful.
I feel cheerful,
I get to cast
too.
Apex, but Apex.
Apex.
APEC. The tournaments are too closely named.
I know.
It's a little bit tough.
It is annoying.
Yeah.
But it's okay. APEC is gone now. Long live Apex.
That's right. Apex forever, man. Well, we'll see. We'll see if MVP Space can muster up any sort of defense, because after the way they got crushed in their last match, it's looking so grim for these guys. You have to wonder what their mentality is coming into this, because now, after that, now they have to play against Energy. So
bad times.
I feel bad
times.
For them. I do.
We cast that match on Monday, and it was just such a domination. It was brutal. It was painful to watch. MVP Space was making very elementary mistakes, like not checking their corners, and then they ran past a Reinhardt, got 6-man Earth Shattered, and just it was ugly.
I mean,
it was ugly.
When you look at a team like MVP Space, and we knew we would have a whole range of teams as far as where they fell on the skill level graph goes, but MVP Space, unfortunately for them, really seems to be at the very bottom because, like you said, not even doing very basic things like checking corners or any semblance of team coordination at all.
Using ultimates at very weird times.
Yeah, one person running in way ahead of his team, or rather in that match specifically, both tanks consistently going way out ahead of everybody else and just getting eliminated. So, yeah, I mean, there's really not much more to say about MVP Space except that they need to improve on absolutely everything to make any sort of impact in this match.
A lot of times you want to find something that a team is doing well, but it's really hard. MVP Space, after their last best of 5, made it very difficult.
I mean, I hate to keep kind of like ripping on them, but if you look at their players too, I mean, we really haven't seen anyone start to stand out so much either. I mean, you usually can be like, well, as a team they're rough, but this guy, he's got some great individual play, but you don't even have that with MVP Space. So I don't know, man. I mean, I seldom have we been so down on a team in esports,
Yeah, well,
so there's been a couple over the years, but
I have never seen a team lose a best of 5 in Overwatch as hard as MVP Space lost in their last match. So.
I don't think many have at the professional level, man. Well, sounds like it's time to get into our first map after we take a look at the teams a little bit more closely. MVP Space, Energy. Glad to have Energy here in Korea. We'll see what they can get done. I've heard we've got some more very awkward interviews planned for Seagull. We'll figure something out.
Trick handshakes.
It's tradition now. Trick handshakes. We're going to have him say like a long paragraph in a language he's never heard before. We'll figure something out, Gonna get him back on Jimmy Kimmel, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have him eat some Korean delicacies like bundegi, which is silkworm pupae on air.
Indeed,
Yeah, just to maximize the pressure and the awkwardness.
And we'll have him drink a gallon of milk and then go on a ride in a Seoul taxi. See how long he can keep it down. We've got stuff planned for you, Seagull.
I could barely keep it down in a Seoul taxi without drinking a gallon of milk, Noah.
That's where the real challenge comes in, right? It's hard enough as it is. MVP Space, speaking of challenges, they've got a pretty big one ahead of them. And, I mean, we've already talked a lot about them, and unfortunately it's all negative. We really do hate
Give us something tonight, MVP Space.
I know, that's the
please.
thing. We don't want to talk about you like this. We want to say good things about you. But you don't do anything good.
Well, maybe they'll redeem themselves a little bit.
Maybe today.
Today is the day of MVP Space, perhaps.
Perhaps. You picked a wrong day to say that, Monty. Oh, well, it's your birthday, though. Magic happens on people's birthdays.
So every day?
Well, yeah, I mean, for certain people here and there. And there is Energy. Welcome to Korea, guys. Have an easy match.
Certainly something they'll be happy with, and we saw some of these teams ramp up a little bit in terms of difficulty. We've seen it from Envy taking on Mighty Storm first, and moving on to Conbox T6, and then the real challenge is Lunatic High on Friday, right? So they actually got that lead up time, that ramp up time to get used to the Korean meta.
I love our booths because it kind of looks like Voltron back in the day, or like the Megazord, where we have like people sitting in front and then the one dude in the back. Usually the leader.
The commander.
Yep. I feel like Seagull should just shout, Dynafirm's connected at some point. Let's see if we can get some audio out of the booth. And as you can see, Lucio and Zari, of course, still the top picks in the league. Nothing's really changed there, but like we mentioned before our first match, Reaper falling a little bit down. The Beyblade getting figured out a bit as teams start to get a bit more flexible.
We've seen a lot of diversity, and these teams have been showing pretty significant differences in character, most notably no Tracer at all in our last best of 5. Meanwhile, some teams will just play spam Tracer every single map. Teams like BK Stars who really do rely on Tracer to be successful.
Yeah. Well, it is time. Lijiang Tower for the first time in a little while here on Apex. We will see if MVP Space has anything new to show us here, make any headway against a team like NRG, I'd say they've pretty much got their work cut out for them. But, hey, you never know. There's a chance, I suppose. NRG, though, looking to get a pretty easy start here. Let's get on the Lijiang Tower and see who takes it.
I get it.
And welcome to the Garden of Terrors. Oh wait, that's here's the storm map. My bad. The Garden in Lijiang Tower. A garden filled with terror potentially, especially if you get knocked off the bridge, man. That's got to be
really
especially
rough.
afraid.
The booping is a nightmare on this map.
Yeah. Thera, though, the prime booper, if you will. Lucio takes a booping back seat sometimes on Garden.
Okay, it looks like there was a Bastion hover here from Sylph, but he is a sport player, so probably not going to be picking that one up in the end, just having some fun spamming in Sentry form. And somebody actually made a basket right there.
You know,
Nice.
Bastion can support himself.
Oh.
He can get the heals on with it. Repairs. Here we go. Of course, Sylph switching off that Bastion back onto the Ana, which is not too surprising. God's on the Roadhog this time.
Yeah, triple tank composition for NRG.
Yeah, Enigma with the Tracer as well, getting some early shots on MVP Space.
It is interesting for NRG how, if they need to play Tracer, usually it's Seagull switches over to the Zarya, even though Enigma does play the majority of the Zarya with other compositions.
Kuki going a little bit deep. That lets Enigma get into the back line. Sylph in a little bit of trouble here. Has to be careful. Sleep Dart missed. Heals himself with a grenade. Looks like Daly's getting a little bit low, though. Oh, man, that's Zarya. Melee not connecting, but God's the one getting the kill there.
I mean, there's nothing to stop this Enigma really in the backline. June just trying to outplay the Tracer versus Tracer matchup. They do cap the point, though, so MVP Space has some room to move.
Oh, NRG just giving him the point early on, maybe trying to build up a little bit more ult. He jumps back home for a bit of safety. The reset comes in for Poots, and it looks like NRG is going to just reset, but this is a tough one to assault if you get held at spawn.
Enigma couldn't quite finish off the kill there onto Sylph in the backline and gave Sylph a lot of time to go ahead and charge up that ultimate. Looking at a fast nano boost. Poro here lurking on the side with the Death Blossom.
Palka's got that sound barrier as well.
Yeah,
so
NRG switching up their attack, though. Going to come from behind, the backside.
Getting onto the point right away. Poro has the ultimate. He's going to go in with it with the nano boost, pushing NRG back. Gets 3. That was devastating. That's 4. And wow, a lot of criticism on MVP Space coming into this one, but that was a clean hold. It's only the very beginning of the King of the Hill, but it's a good start for MVP Space.
Yeah, Sylph just got the nano boost up right there. They read the assault into the backside, and that was NRG getting caught out in a very confined space with their entire team basically.
Yeah.
So easy use of the Beyblade. They're going to try again.
Reaper gleefully spinning through the hallway. Oh, hi. Tracer versus Tracer. Enigma getting a lot of damage done onto June. Seagull runs in. Milo has that Earth Shatter available. Graviton Surge used. NRG trying to take back the point. The big bomb comes in, and the big bang will maybe let NRG take this point back again. Yeah, looks like they'll get it. That's a full team wipe. And that's what NRG was looking for. Down 82% to 1 right now, though, so they really do need to hold this effectively.
Yeah, good hold by Milo on the Earth Shatter, though, so it'll be one ultimate apiece. The crowd control is there. Milo holding the bridge while looking at Gods trying to take some of the long-range shots on McCree. Enigma just trying to make sure the Tracer doesn't blink over here and get a flank into the back line.
Good zoning. Deadeye. Pop. Let's see if Gods can pick anybody up on this one. No targets in sight at the moment. Going after Kuki down the back line, but that Winston's going to leap to his death. The full reset as MVP Space loses a few too many to keep pushing.
Good spread there by NRG. They managed to isolate the Tracer as she came over the wall, and the Deadeye zoned everybody out, so no support. The Tracer went in for the flank, got caught in the back line by multiple members while the rest of the team backed off, and they managed to force the reset. So MVP is going to change their plan of attack.
Well, they're going to try to go in the same way NRG did. They've got that Graviton Surge as well to use. Milo getting low already. There's the Graviton Surge, the Big Bang combo. Their key to victory. Milo barely goes down in the end. Poro finishes him off, but Energy not losing too many just yet. Seagull with a kill on Nakuki there. Gods waltzing in. Oh, but waltzing right to the underworld as Poro picks up another one for MVP Space. And looks like they're going to hold for now. Yep, goodbye, Enigma.
So they will retake the point here, starting at 82%. They threw everything at that point, though.
Yeah.
Using their nano boost. Dummy also blowing his on the engage. So that time they managed to make it work, pushing on through to the point here on Garden and try and just hold the bridge at the moment. Poro lurking on the side, does have Death Blossom.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Nice reaction from Gods.
Yeah, that's right. Backs away. He's got the Deadeye too if they want to use it. A kill on each side. There's a sound barrier. There's a Deadeye. Could be big. Gets knocked through the air though. Primal Rage launches him and he can't pick up anybody. June though getting the kill on the dummy. There's another Graviton Surge being activated. June backing away from the point for the moment. Energy getting low. They lose 3. MVP Space has a chance to hold this one. Pulse Bomb goes in. Milo goes down. And MVP Space might be able to claim Garden here.
Something to deal with Lucio, and there he goes.
Wow,
down.
they get it.
Wow, okay, well.
Interesting.
MVP Space will win their first points in their last 2 best-of-5s. Taking that relatively convincingly. That was some great defensive play by MVP Space. Winston being able to knock Gods out of the Deadeye, shut down the attack that Energy had going on to the point there. And now we will head into the second point of Lijiang Tower and see if Energy can bring it back.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something we have not seen from MVP Space yet, in that they were able to really make those big bang combos count. And it's a simple level of coordination, right? It's like the basics, but they finally got that to work. And that combined with a solid hold, like I mentioned, it's hard to retake that point if you lose it. A little bit more so than other points here.
June and Poro going to be on the Tracer and the Reaper once again. Seagull still sticking to the Zarya. Enigma on the Reaper.
Right.
It's back on the McCree, so be some Reaper versus Reaper battles here. Winston going to jump in, get that bubble down right off the bat, and he's going to try and get onto the back lines.
And Energy trying to take the defensive stance on the point right away. Poro, though, getting in, push back just a little bit, has to Wraith form out, and Energy may be able to just take the point right off the bat here. There's a kill on Enigma, though. Just straight up losing the Reaper battle. Poro gets slept, but MVP Space moving on to the point now. Daly back on that Zarya. June taken down before he can use the Pulse Bomb, though, and that'll help Energy claim that point early on. Daly pushing in, already 65%, and he is charged up, doing a ton of damage on that Zarya. They're zoning them now out of the room. This could be big for MVP Space. A kill onto Dummy. It's going to be another one. No, nearly onto Seagull. He's got the Graviton Surge, though, now. Poro comes back in. Graviton Surge used for MVP Space. Poro, with that Death Blossom, doesn't need to use it, and MVP Space, just like that, takes back point A.
MVP Space is so lucky they got that push, though. They used the nano boost onto Pelka's Lucio, actually, during that push. So a big mistake there, but it doesn't end up costing them because they have that damage. Really Energy, though. Enigma just walking forward. Yes, he had a Zarya shield, but the Reaper was right there. Close range damage enough to burn it out, and there's a very aggressive Death Blossom.
Wow, Sound Barrier used to support that as well, and they just were not expecting him to be there as they jumped down, and MVP Space just reading that push perfectly.
Wow, okay, well, strong start from MVP Space.
Yeah.
Still have the point ticking up in their favor. And June lurking on the side with the Pulse Bomb. No other ultimates to use, but same thing could be said for Energy. They're going to have to wait for the Death Blossom, and there's the bomb. Didn't hit anybody, couldn't get the stick.
It was close, though. I mean, the defensive positioning has been very tricky for MVP Space as they have Energy a little bit cornered here in the back line. Poro going crazy, but that Reaper has to back away, though. Couple kills for Energy, but they're kind of cornered at the moment. Enigma finally picking up some kills, and it looks like Energy is going to be able to retake this point.
Yeah, there was June got a little bit overeager, ran into a Reinhardt hammer or a Fire Strike there. Couldn't exactly tell which one it was, but
well, it looked a little bit iffy too for Energy as they were kind of trapped on the stairway for a moment, but they fought their way through. Now they've got the defender's advantage.
Wow, June. Gods managed to land the hook and take out the Tracer that was pushed pretty far forward. There we go. Beyblade going down. Seagull gonna die.
Yeah, that's right. Seagull ends up finishing himself off with that right click. A lot of help, though, from Poro. And that Beyblade, they're going to loop around the back here, trying to take advantage of the Graviton Surge. Poro's still full health as MVP Space moves back into the point. Enigma, meanwhile, with the nano boost on that Reaper, looking for a couple, gets a couple. And Energy may be able to prevent Space from taking this back. June, though, getting the kill onto Enigma. Not able to retake the point, but at least making Energy use a couple ultimates and defending it there.
Yeah, a bit sloppy, though, from MVP Space. They got the sleep onto the target, the nano-boosted Enigma, but they couldn't actually prevent themselves from dealing damage, so he's woken up and cleaned up nearly immediately.
Yeah.
Cookie now going to be switching over to the D.Va.
Interesting decision. Going at the D.Va, sound barrier used immediately by Energy. They're going to go ahead and pop the whole hog as well just to try to push Space back off, build more percentage. There goes Daily. Good old hog for God. Sound barrier used a bit late for MVP Space. Poro, though, with that Death Blossom could make a difference here. He's looking for it. Hook misses, and he gets two. That hook missing was crucial for Poro to get the opportunity. Oh, but he's taken out by Enigma before he can finish Gods off. Enigma back in the point now with that Pulse Bomb. Doesn't get anyone with it. Seagull goes down meanwhile in all of that. Energy barely clinging to the point for the moment. Kuki staying alive with that Zarya shield pretty effectively here. And MVP Space maybe making a bit of headway here. I don't know.
It's in overtime, though. They actually desuited the D.Va. There you go. Nano boost onto the Tracer.
So close.
They're not going to pick up the kills, though. And in the meantime, they're just kind of streaming in one by one. And they finally able to get the Tracer. And with that, they will finish off the point. Really nice job, though. Lucio from Energy just booping the ulting Reaper back. Prevented a lot of members from Energy actually falling in that extended fight that led into overtime.
Yeah.
They take it, but barely. MVP Space certainly giving them a run for their money. We are going to go into our third and final point here on Lijiang Tower.
Wow, and already a bit of a surprising best of five right off the bat. MVP Space claiming a point, but Energy responding. It wasn't exactly one-sided, though, at Night Market, so we'll see what happens here on Control Center. Cool, I like it. I like it a little bit closer. We'll see if it stays that way, though. I don't know. I think we saw the little bit of the old MVP Space coming back towards the end of that last one.
Switch up here, too. So God's going to be on the Roadhog. Enigma back onto the Tracer. Meanwhile, MVP going to play McCree for the first time in this series. And that's going to deal nicely with Enigma.
I like the McCree on this map. There's a lot of good positions you can take for a Deadeye, and then sometimes you just die. A couple kills for Energy coming in right off the bat here. Gods on that Roadhog being pretty effective. And Poro and Daily go down, and that's about it. Energy Esports going to take the first point. Takes the first percentage.
Yeah, Pelka actually nearly dying somewhere in the backfield there. They killed him. They bought them nice little boost onto their percentage. Sylph was up on the top side too. Nobody from NRG capable of getting up there. No dashes, so they are vulnerable to high ground camping. And goodbye, Gods. It's another hook.
Yeah, nice hook there. And Poro coming in with the nano boost now. Gets pinned, though. Taken on the fight by the Reinhardt. He'll be taken down as well. Seagull all charged up on that Zarya, nearly anyway. Has a Graviton Surge. We'll see what he can combo. With that, Daily does go down. Seagull looking for a little bit more as Energy defends here. Milo swinging away in the back lines, and they're going to push MVP Space all the way back, close to spawn.
Yeah, they committed to the nano boost onto Poro after June had already been picked off, so the defense nicely held. Milo got the charge he needed to occupy the nano boosted Reaper, and successful defense in a 6v5, and there you go. There's a nice one.
Yeah, potentially. Pulse Bomb doesn't do a whole lot. Enigma, though, building it back up again really quickly as Energy just kind of harasses their way to a defensive hold here on Lijiang Tower. MVP Space just can't get any headway going. Kuki did switch over to the D.Va again for this map. It's near the ultimate, but I just am not a huge fan of the D.Va here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the D.Va is supposed to do. And there we go. They're going to try for the Beyblade once again, but the sound barrier already there.
Yeah, Poro doesn't get hit with the Earth Shatter, gets in the back lines. With the ultimate, gets slept, doesn't get any kills with it. Seagull manages to pick him off. Graviton Surge used by MVP Space, but this fight, never mind. That was a big bang. Big bang. MVP Space has what they need to take the point back for the first time here on Control Center.
Problem is, though, they committed 4 ults to that push right there, using so many resources, and Energy's going to come back and have a big bang of their own. So unless we see a nice D.Va play here where she's going to absorb perhaps the Zarya ultimate, but if Seagull's smart, and we know he is as a player, just jump in right there, throw it at your feet, don't give the D.Va time to block that.
Yeah, especially if you take her out of the suit immediately. I think it.
He actually did.
I think it was blocked. Yeah.
Jeez,
Wow.
I can't believe that happened.
He got Kuki so low. I think Kuki was actually popping out of the suit.
No.
He fired it a little bit too early. And Energy, though, still picking up the kills. They've got the nano boost onto Milo, so looks like they might be able to take the point back. Yeah, Poro going down there. And even with that little bit embarrassing Graviton Surge loss, well, maybe I spoke too soon, though. Miley dropping the Shatter. Milo, rather. Miley.
Good old
Milo
Miley.
Cyrus. Oh, yeah. All right, God's looking for a few more picks here. Milo doing okay, too.
Personally, I look forward to Milo's Disney Channel show, Noah.
All right. What's it going to be called? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know yet. Give me a minute to think about it.
Oh, okay. All right, Graviton Surge pops in again. Energy looking for a few. They get a few. They're going to use the sound barrier as well, so it's time to hold on to this point. We'll see if Energy can take Lijiang Tower as MVP Space losing 3. Gonna have to stream in a little bit haphazardly. Enigma with another kill there. Gods misses the hook, but the defense looking okay here for Energy as the countdown timer falls even quicker.
Yeah, just
over
defending
time.
on the outside. Pelka's going to go down. Sylph also falling. Nano
There it
boost
is.
used just to secure the point.
Wow.
So this has been a bit of a sloppy series from both teams so far.
Little
I'm
bit.
really surprised that they actually lost the Zarya ultimate like that. So many times in these situations when you have a Genji or you have a D.Va on the other team, you just need to jump through the enemy composition. Wait for your personal barrier to come up, use it, just pop right in and throw it at your feet so the enemy team doesn't have a chance to reflect it or eat it with the defense matrix.
I mean, that was a sneaky one, right? Because he was firing the left click at Kuki while defense matrix was going. Thought he had that 1 second window where you can't reactivate it again. Not to mention the D.Va suit was so low. I think he thought he was popping out. So that's a bit of an iffy one. I don't know if I could be too hard on Seagull for that one, but either way, they end up winning the map anyway. Numbani going to be our second map of the match. And we'll see if MVP Space can push the payload
Or take the first point.
or take the first point. Yeah, that's the key to success right there. The key to actually getting started. MVP Space has had a hard time doing that.
Well, at least they finally got a point on King of the Hill, and they definitely have been looking better today.
Yep, that's right. So, time to get into our second map and see if Energy can jump out to a 2-0 lead in the Specify, or if MVP Space will make a bit of a miracle play here and take down the NA team. Let's go to Numbani and find out.
I get it.
All right, welcome to Numbani and MVP
Battleground.
Space, a team that did not take a
Numbani.
single point for two matches rather, until today, until Lijiang Tower. We'll have to try to take a point here on Numbani, and it will not be easy against a team with the defensive strength of Energy.
I'm curious what exactly we're going to see pulled from Energy right here. Doesn't look like anything too unusual as we take a look at the composition. Seagull on his Mei, one of his best heroes. Enigma back on the Zarya as a result. So big tank composition coming through from NRG. Very low DPS. Pick reliant, whether it's on the wall, Mei wall, or the Roadhog hook. And they do not have very many tools, Doa, to deal with a Mercy Pharah. So if
that's the
MVP
thing.
Space sticks to this, you got to hope for that hook, because there is a huge amount of Pharah poke damage, and this is a wonderful composition to use against what Energy is showing.
I like the D.Va with it too, because if you're expecting a McCree on the other side or something like that, you can block a lot of those shots and keep your Pharah even safer. But yeah, as we can see from Energy's composition here on Numbani, they're not even going to have to worry about that. So Energy might be caught a little bit unawares here. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, this is,
loop around the side.
I think this is a really good comp against what we're seeing Energy run.
Here they go. And Sylph just forcing energy off that defensive point, trying to as much as he can. Gods goes down right away, though, and without the Roadhog, who's going to stop this Pharah? Sylph getting a little bit low, but they're going to get in the back. There goes Enigma.
Poro died somehow. Dummy managed to snipe him out of the air, which is huge for making sure that Pharah is contained. Pelka still on his own on the side, does get a Zarya shield. Have to get them, but they're all clustered up in the room, Doa.
This could be rough, man. That rocket damage is going to be pretty big. Sleep Dart, looking for it. Onto Sylph. Sylph goes down, though.
Yeah, smart. Gods immediately look, switches to the McCree, and
works.
because MVP Space couldn't actually finish off those kills fast enough, Gods has time, after being the first death, to switch up his hero, take the McCree, the tool that you need to deal with the Pharah, and that's going to be the kills they need. Nice shot from the opposite side of the point, so it's going to prompt a switch up here for MVP Space. They're going to go onto the Genji now and try and go for a dive composition with the Winston and the Genji.
I like the adaptation on the MVP Space. Getting the back lines really easily with that one, but in that last push, it really was when the Mercy went down that things kind of fell apart there. That was a crucial kill by Dummy. Here we go. Coming to the point right now. Milo and Seagull just trying to chase people off the high ground, but Sylph is still up there. Seagull has the Blizzard, so if things get scary on the point, he can always drop the ultimate and cover most of it. See how it goes. Poro looking for a kill on the Gods, but Gods the one. Taking out the Genji, and now MVP Space has to back away. Gods on this McCree, man. Really been doing work. Seagull getting a piece of the action himself, too.
Healing up in the ice block. Gods moving pretty aggressively forward around to the flank. Nope. Thinks better of it, just staying in the back hallway on the high ground above the point, waiting to unleash his ultimate. 5 ults up, and Enigma also nearly there, so big ult advantage. MVP Space trying to build up the sound barrier and the Graviton Surge on their side, but this is a pretty huge defender's advantage for NRG as they try and make an assault onto the high ground yet again. Walled off, and here comes the pick.
Oh, Daly in big trouble, separated from the rest of his team already. June manages to take down Seagull. Sound barriers used on both sides. Death Blossom gets popped. Milo has a nano boost on that Reinhardt now. Enigma with a couple kills, and Energy looks like they should be able to hold just fine. And Milo...
Whoa.
Uh-oh, that was a bit odd. Doing the moonwalk there.
Inside the Zarya ultimate, not sure what happened. Looked like we might have a DC.
Yeah.
It was a stronghold. 4 ults were used by NRG, but they managed to buy themselves a little bit more time, so we'll see where we are. The fight was over by the time DC happened. The Zarya ultimate thrown out at the end, but there was no follow-up damage onto the Reinhardt that was stuck in it.
It already started to look like a pretty clean hold for Energy as well.
Yep.
They separated Daly from the rest of the team. Seagull, I believe, did go down fairly early in that fight, but still, it looks like they were doing just fine, and we have never had this happen before, but there's a first time for everything. See what the issue is and see what we need to do to fix it.
Always time for a wealth of problems, Doa.
Oh,
you never know what you're going to get.
That's esports, Monte Cristo. So, MVP, what do you think they're thinking about right now? I mean, here's the thing that I like about MVP is even though their execution is certainly lacking, they're making the right roster swaps on their hero selection, I think. So that is one thing they're doing very well today. And it's just the fact that they can't seem to take those roster swaps and translate that into effective pushes. That's the problem so far on Nimbani for them.
I think they wasted a lot of time on Nimbani, too, trying to go in the back hallway around the point because their Lucio was on the opposite side. Pelka was just sitting there on the opposite side of the point. And Pharah Mercy is great, but one of the big problems that you run into is that at the end of the day, you actually have to have somebody on the point in order to cap it. And so when your tanks are not committing to being there or running around with the Pharah because your Mercy was picked off by the Ana from... Oh, it's a rematch. Oh,
wow.
Boy, that's not good.
All right, well, at least we weren't too far into it. But, yeah, it looks
really
like we
rough.
will be
Energy
restarting
had
Nimbani.
A good hold right there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. The way things were going, though, I mean, unless things change pretty drastically for what MVP was doing, it seems like they should be able to just kind of keep on with the defense.
Well, I think we're going to see the adaptation here, and the McCree out early from Gods.
Could be.
It was such a great attack by MVP Space. I think they had all the tools, but again, the execution just wasn't there.
So here we are, back on Nimbani once again. Apparently having a crash bad enough to restart the map, but I suppose that happens sometimes. early on anyway, Energy Esports defending well, and they will continue to defend. We'll see if MVP Space is able to get a little bit more coordination together. But again, you know, we're seeing, you know, again, good composition decisions. The changes were effective. Well, effective as in it seemed like it was going to work, but then again, the execution is really what was lacking in what we saw from MVP Space on Nimbani so far.
And taking a look at this, MVP Space is going to try and go for the Pharah Mercy composition again, but as suspected, God's already on that McCree, so it will be a lot less effective in this time around, and MVP Space is going to have some trouble there if they commit to it.
I think so. And they're running the Diva again. And, you know, the Diva, the idea behind this is that you kind of run into the McCree's face and you either kill him, absorb the flashbang. You just occupy his time so that Pharah can do work, right? Because if you're in the McCree's face with the what the world is it called?
Defensive Matrix.
Defensive Matrix, obviously, from Diva, that gives Pharah time to take out the McCree. Then from there on, you try to pick apart the rest of the defense. So that's the plan coming in for MVP Space. Can they execute it on it again? You will see.
Yep, they're going to go for it yet again. So
yeah, same exact thing.
Do have the Reaper and the Diva to try and get in the face of the backline. Milo holding the
we
high
go.
ground. Same attack too. Pharah coming around the side.
Trying to knock everyone off the high ground. Goes after Seagull now as the Diva absorbs a lot of damage, but Sylph taken out immediately by Enigma. June tries to walk in on the Reaper here. We'll see what he can get done, but MVP's already lost 3 as Kuki finishes himself off, and yep, they're going to reset.
How did the Reinhardt kill the Mercy? That's like my big question from that fight.
A really good fire strike.
Maybe.
I didn't catch that.
But making it look easy, and this time Energy actually has the tools for that defense. They stand very strong, and MVP Space, they're going to commit to this again, though. They switched off last time. They saw the McCree. They went for the Genji, but no. Sylph didn't really get any ultimate charge there whatsoever. MVP Space hanging around the low ground. They're going to try literally exactly the same attack.
Well, all right, and looking for the E. There's the Mei wall coming down. Sylph trying to get into that hallway for a little bit more defense, and he gets in there for the moment anyway. Let's even make it work. Kuki knocked out of the Diva suit right off the bat, and MVP Space in the back hallway kind of on their own. They've kept the Mercy alive for the moment, but man, this is so iffy here. Seagull with
nice
that blizzard,
biotic
if he wants
grenade.
to use it. Yeah, biotic grenade definitely does make a good start. Gods, it's a flashbang, takes out the Pharah, and MVP Space just can't push this point yet.
They waited so long on the high ground, Doa. That allowed NRG to really just get back onto the point. There's the Earth Shatter, not actually going to hit June, but Milo swinging away with that nano boost.
And it looks like Energy should be able to hold this. Seagull, drops the Blizzard just to make sure, and Kuki already on the way out with the Diva. Goodbye, Poro. And will they stick with the same thing? They have not switched yet. Sylph dodging on that Pharah. Hard to hit those right clicks, so he gets 1.
Only 1 though, and Diva bounces in front with the defensive matrix. Seagull back off, pick up the big health pack, and
I mean, it's taken so long for Sylph to build up that barrage. He's still only at 72%. I don't know what you do here if you're MVP Space and you haven't switched yet. How do you expect this to really work?
See, they have to make sure that they get the barrier on him too, because MVP Space doesn't have an Ana with this composition to actually get the nano boost down, which means they're very dependent on the barrier onto the Pharah during the barrage, or else she just gets picked off.
Yeah. They do have to worry. Wow, Gods takes out June almost immediately. Space losing 2 right off the bat. Pelka comes in, waiting for that big res, brings up 2 of his teammates. Kuki low on that Diva suit, pops the ultimate. Sound barrier used by Space, responded to by Energy. And Sylph taking a nap. But he's got the sound barrier. That doesn't help anybody. He's got the barrage now, though. They've got the Reaper ult. They've got the Pharah ultimate used. Sylph helps get a couple here. Ultimate from way back. And with that Graviton Surge, maybe they can get some headway, though. Graviton Surge used, followed by the Blizzard from Energy, and that is going to stop MVP Space cold. No pun intended. June coming in from the side here. Gets flashbang. They're trying to take out Gods. Gods gets 2 in response, though. Enigma kind of on his own, but not too worried here. Still up on that Pharah, but he's the only one around.
Wow, great kill there from Enigma. Awesome tracking on the left click. Watching him fall, charging him during the barrier, and then landing the final right click. So Energy's going to hold here.
Yeah, I think
Looks like that's going to be pretty much it. There's nothing left for them to work with. Kuki going to try and switch over to the Winston in a desperation move. Energy, though, they have the nano boost. They have the Reinhardt ultimate up.
And they're going to spread out enough that they're not going to get caught by this this ultimate from Reaper here. They know it hasn't been used yet. They know it's coming
Nice
in. Milo
job.
with the Earth Shatter immediately gets the nano boost in an easy team fight for Energy. And it looks like they will full hold as Sylph goes for a desperation play. There's the salute as he goes down, and that is it. Full hold for Energy on Nimbani.
Had the tools that time, and we just saw them be stubborn, MVP Space. They refused to switch off the Pharah. It wasn't working for them. Sylph was getting picked off at the beginning of each and every one of those fights, and Sylph is typically one of their support players, but they swapped it around. One of their normal DPSs, Poro, onto the Mercy, and just not working right there. Positioning definitely an issue, and they became so predictable, Doa. They tried that initial attempt on the flank on the high ground literally twice in a row. And they also did that after the remake where they did it on their initial push too. So
I mean, I like the initial plan from MVP Space with the D.Va Pharah Mercy combo where you get in there, dislodge the high ground, pick people off, and use the D.Va to cover the Pharah. You know, it's in theory that's a play that should be effective, but I think it needs a better team, frankly, to execute it to make that work.
yeah, and also just if you're looking for that big combo, though, if you want the Zarya ult into the barrage, most teams will not run Lucio. They'll run Mercy Ana there, right, so that you have more protection. Otherwise,
Right.
you're wholly reliant on a Zarya shield onto the Pharah. Otherwise, you just get picked off. You don't have the damage reduction from a nano boost. So
I mean, not to mention what Ana can do herself, damage-wise, sleep dart-wise, you know, from those long-range distances on Numbani when you're attacking. So it's a bit surprising to see them stick with it. You know, I think they had a game plan, and that's what they decided to use. But then again, in our, you know, before we had the restart, they made swaps that I felt like could have been pretty effective with a bit better execution, but just deciding not to use them.
yeah, the stall out on the high ground too was absolutely brutal because it felt like every time they got an advantage, they would just spend time in the tunnels behind the point instead of attempting to capitalize on it. They sort of got stuck back there. So this time, NRG looking to go for a couple tanks here with the Mei and the Reaper. So not very good maneuverability onto the high platforms. No options just to jump up there with any of their heroes. Seagull going to get smacked a little bit by a biotic grenade, but that'll be healed up quickly enough.
Should be just fine. MVP Space trying to hold here. And Energy can take their time, right? They can take their time, decide what the best angle would be. They're going in on the low ground.
Wow, this is an unusual
Hallway.
attack.
Well, that's what you want to do. Oh, Daly gets pulled in very low already. Biotic grenade prevents the heals. Daly goes down. Good start for Energy already here as they try to defend. Seagull with the right clicks, looking for a kill onto June. Lands one, lands two. June very low on that McCree. High ground to try to get himself in a better position, but June back up to full health. Seagull has to back away and use that ice block. Close call, though, for June. Biotic grenade trying to take a chunk out, and they will take it just like that. Man,
Wow. Well,
that was fast.
they all just rush through the lower room, which is not a point of attack that you typically see because it's so easily defended. And MVP Space, they had a Mei. They had the opportunity to get the wall in there, but
Yeah.
there was just nothing. They overran the Zarya, immediately landed the first hook, and then used the wall to isolate the Zarya on the other side, just rolled up from there, pick after pick from the Roadhog on Gods.
I mean, when you run a comp like that as Energy, you're not really even trying to get on the high ground, right? I mean, you can with Seagull's Mei, that's possible, but the idea is just to get on the point and say, come at me, you know, we're super tanky. You don't want to be close range to us, yet you have to do this if
Right.
you want
I
to
mean,
keep us from holding the point.
There wasn't a choice there. Once the
Yeah.
tanks went down, what was the McCree going to do? Like, jump
Exactly.
down onto the point? Absolutely not. Like, you're not going to get much done right there, so
Yeah.
Energy made it look easy.
When we come back, we'll see if Energy can get a clean 3-0 or if MVP Space will make any headway, any momentum in this best of 5. It's going to be tough. We'll be right back.
시간 가속기도 만들었는데 이 정도쯤이야. 오버워치 요원, 오버워치 요원 여러분. 아, 이게 아닌가? 오버워치의 옛 요원 여러분, 윈스턴입니다. 당연한 소리야. 30년 전 옴닉은 전쟁을 일으켰어. 속수무책으로 당하던 세계는 영웅들을 소집해 작은 단체를 꾸립니다. 그렇게 옴닉 사태로부터 인류를 구하기 위해 오버워치가 결성됐지요. 우린 역사상 가장 위대한 평화의 수호자이자 번영의 상징이었습니다. 당신이 선택됐던 이유는 그만한 힘과 능력이 있었기 때문에. 당신이 싸웠던 이유는 이미 아시는 얘기죠. 네, 사람들은 우리 없이 살기로 결정했어요. 심지어 우리가 범죄자라며 우리 조직을 해체시켰죠. 하지만 보세요. 누군가 나서야 해요. 우리가 나서야 한다고요. 우리가 바로잡을 수 있어요. 세상에 우리가 필요합니다. 지금 당장. 함께 하실 거죠?
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
And we're back in the middle of our match between MVP Space and NRG here on the Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. And things are not going great for MVP Space.
No, they're not. We saw some life in them, at least in the King of the Hill. They got a first map, and in map number 2, pretty decisively destroyed on Numbani, full held, and then a quick cap for NRG. And now the map selection will be Temple of Anubis from MVP Space.
Interesting. All right. Temple of Anubis. We'll see if they can get any headway done here. But it's going to be tough. Very, very tough. I mean, just the way that last map went. I mean, they going from, a quick adaptation before the reset to just complete inflexibility was very bizarre to see, yeah.
I guess they decided that they were just going to be stronger with that composition. Perhaps that's the one that they just practiced over and over and over again and felt better about their execution, but it didn't work out.
Not really. Well, let's go to Temple of Anubis and see who takes it.
I get it.
All right, here we are on Temple of Anubis. And MVP Space has to pull out an absolute miracle if they want to have any chance of coming back in this best of 5 against NRG Esports. And it's going to be tough, if not impossible. They're going to need to completely change how they play.
Well, that's pretty hard to do, Noah. It's pretty hard to do at a professional level.
Yes, it is.
So we will see Seagull back on the May. Everything pretty standard here, 2-2-2. More energy coming on through. Gods, who has been fantastic on the McCree so far, trying to spray paint some mannequins.
I don't think you can do that. I mean, you can in real life, but not in Overwatch.
Well, MVP Space may be getting Kuki onto this Diva one more time. Bit of an unorthodox pick, has not really been looking so strong.
I mean, we've seen him really prefer that hero in the past, but it just, I failed to see how he's good enough on this Diva to warrant him picking it over a lot of the other standard tanks in a lot of situations.
Yeah, and when you want to get into those backlines, Winston in many circumstances is more useful, and they are going to be setting up for the McCree on June, so backing away from the Tracer play. Poro once again onto the Reaper and trying to hit that Death Blossom Nano Boost combo. Kuki going to fly right on through with a Diva shield, gives June some time to get onto the high ground. Yeah,
that is the idea. I mean, you fly the Diva in there, it covers your team as they try to run for the point right now. Kuki is backing away for the moment. Throwing down the defensive matrix yet again and making Energy chase them. So they have split up Energy a little bit, but Milo already with a kill on Palka. Kuki knocked out of the suit pretty early. June, though, does get onto the point for the moment before backing away. Milo getting a little bit low, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty clean hold for Energy Esports.
Yeah, again, MVP Space really split up right there. So much time for Energy just to chase them down one by one. And now they have been severely split spawned in this situation. Dummy with the faster Nano Boost right now. And Milo, well, sitting there waiting.
We saw June on the McCree get all the way to the point and then immediately leave it because he's like, wait a minute.
I actually don't want to be here.
I'm the only one that made it. Uh-oh. And now MVP Space trying to set up something. They've got the Nano Boost. See if they use it on. Oh, Graviton Surge used immediately, though, by Energy. They're going to engage early on. They drop the Blizzard as well. And an easy wipe coming in for Energy. Poro makes it out, but who cares?
Yeah, and they got two more ults out of that. As we take a look, he's going to come in with the Nano Boosted Reinhardt. They had all the CC. In fact, it was overkill. You didn't need the Blizzard. You already had the setup with Gods rushing forward and just chucking the flashbang into the mob. So, if anything, a bit of an overcommitment there from NRG, but they got plenty of tools left. June gonna try and zoom on through here, try to get to high ground. God's already there with a zoning Deadeye.
Finding one, gets Pelka, and that's pretty big. Pelka.
Yeah, Pelka was the one who was getting close to that sound barrier, so they needed him alive to keep that push forward. So more time now. June on the high ground, though, and a little bit of a duel here with the Ana of Dummy.
He's going to have to be careful, or he's going to get majorly split spawned here.
No, he's not getting out.
I don't know how he stays alive. His team coming back in now. Gods with the 1v1. Oh, but he loses the duel.
He didn't hit the headshots right there, Doa.
That's right. And that may be an opportunity as June gets the Deadeye on the high ground, looking for some targets. Milo booped up. No kills, though, for that McCree. June drops onto the point now. Kuki gets one onto Milo, though. Oh, flashbang not hitting Siegel. He did get the ice block off just in time. Poro there with a shotgun to the head. Nearly gets the kill onto that Mei.
Pook's still being annoying, but
jumping down.
Eventually is going to be a take right there. If they had managed to take out June, that probably would have been a very different fight. And in spite of the fact that that was a win there for Gods, at least initially in the battle, getting the flashbang not working. God's actually going to switch to the Diva now.
Huh, interesting.
They should know that MVP Space actually doesn't have very much to work with when it comes to ultimates. Everybody's still very low in percentages, so Diva may not be the most necessary pick this early.
Yeah, I'd say so. Seagull with the Blizzard, though, dropping that on the point right away to prevent the push from MVP Space. Daly gets one on the Zarya, though. And looks like they'll defend it just fine for now. Poro gets Earth Shatter, and he's going to get taken apart by Milo on that Reinhardt. Daly with that Graviton Surge, but they're going to back away. They have to reset.
Again, though, you question, did they use too much energy on that defense? That was a pretty big commitment of the Nano Boost, Blizzard, and the Earth Shatter. The Earth Shatter at the end, yeah, it got the Reaper in the corridor, but they had already gotten enough picks at that point in time that even if Reaper had been able to kill Milo, probably not going to turn that fight around. And now they sit there with 0 ultimates available, and MVP Space may have an opportunity.
I'd say so. Trying to come in from the side here. Again, it all depends on this Graviton Surge. They really need to combo this well. Get it through. All right, get the back lines. Looking for it. And they take Milo out of the fight right now. This may be the opportunity, but no. Gets frozen before he pops the ultimate. Seagull with the kill onto Daly. And yeah, this push looks like it might be taken apart a little bit already. June kind of on his own. They're on the side. They do manage to take down Milo. And we'll see.
Oh,
nice. Fan the hammer onto Seagull, and June actually kind of being a hero here on this map for MVP Space so far. Sound barrier used, though, by Energy Esports to get them back into the defense here. Even not going down, and finally they take out that McCree as Gods gets 2.
Yeah, but MVP Space, they're patient, Doa. Now they have 6 ults to work with. This is probably the best push they're going to get in this game. Pooks had to use the sound barrier just to keep his team alive on the point. So not really much defensively. MVP Space has to get that wipe and then try and make sure that they don't have anybody streaming into the point thereafter.
Yeah, you get the wipe and then you stay healthy enough to guard those spawns. And it's going to be an apocalyptic team fight as they send in the Reaper right away, but he does get immediately pinned after the Earthshatter comes down. Nano boost onto the Reinhardt. Poro gets in back with that sound barrier. So it doesn't get anything with the ultimate, but trying to get a little bit more with just those left clicks. Enigma with the first kill of the fight onto the Reinhardt. Meanwhile, Milo jumps down, chasing Poro away, and it looks like he and the Zarya are going to be able to finish this one off.
They committed to that fight, though, but they telegraphed it a mile away, and they didn't have the Zarya shield to use onto the ulting Reaper right there, so Poro actually is going to switch it up entirely. I mean, but man, that was a sloppy execution by MVP Space. It was so easy for the Reinhardt to get nano boosted and then land the Earthshatter and completely nullify the attack, and Energy dodges a bullet in a big way.
Well, for sure. Daly coming back in again. MVP Space going for it, but nice wall separating the team yet again, and now the Diva ultimate comes in on top of the Blizzard, and God gets 3 from it.
Great communication with Seagull, dropping the wall there at the last second to allow the Diva ult to get the AoE. Daly here still has his ulti.
Well, Daly pushing back, can't survive the damage from Enigma, though.
Sad to go, but great coordination there from Energy around the Diva.
You know, going back to that 6 ultimate push that MVP Space had, I feel like how that ended up going was just kind of MVP Space's problems in a nutshell, right? You have everything going for you. Somebody goes in way too early. You just don't have the proper coordination. Lacking that Zarya ultimate on the Reaper, and everything falls apart.
Also just disrespect for the Reinhardt ultimate.
Totally.
Unfortunate.
It's like they forget what's available for their enemies sometimes. Space trying to push from the right side now. Bit disjointed. Daly still has that Graviton Surge available if he wants to use it. They do get Gods very, very low, but there's the ultimate right off the bat. Graviton Surge, June coming in.
Nice
the Maywall blocks the Deadeye. Not bad. June even got the Nano Boost. He's not getting to use it. Poro, though, in the back lines gets 2. Now they have the sound barrier. Can they finally push Energy back far enough to take this point? Not so far.
Somebody's still on it from Energy, actually.
Well, the spawns, they've actually got Pooks way up there on the Lucio, preventing MVP Space from getting any time, and now Energy back again. The spawn close enough, and MVP probably going to be pushed back again. Nano boost onto Milo on the Reinhardt, and everything should be just fine for Energy.
Sound barrier comes through as well. This should be the hold as we tick down into the final 10 seconds. MVP Space really has no tools to work with.
Sometimes you just can't dislodge that Lucio, I suppose. June on the side, don't know what he's going to do. Gets pushed back by this Reinhardt and goes down. So that's going to be the hold, and Energy holding on point B. That's a nice drawing.
That is a nice drawing. We've seen a lot of Diva tonight, surprisingly, especially in this matchup from both Kuki and Gods.
Not bad.
But that was a clever little play there, and NRG looking practiced on that second point, comboing Maywalls and Diva ults very nicely to confuse their opponents.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a while before we see Diva get 3 kills with her ultimate in competitive play.
It was tricky.
Enjoy that one.
It was tricky. Without a blizzard or something, right?
It was fun.
Maybe you would get it with a nice blizzard, or maybe a very well-timed Earthshatter, but
even with the blizzard, though, even with ultimate pairings, Diva just never kills anyone with their ultimate. It's a rare occasion.
It was a beautiful thing, though. It was a beautiful thing. So, NRG switching to the attack here. They take both points. They win the map. They win the entire set, 3-0. And now MVP Space. June coming out with that McCree once again. Very standard composition, so have the big potential. And a lot of threat to the backline. Gods at least flashing the Widowmaker now. A man could dream of seeing Gods' Widowmaker again, though.
Hey, I mean, if we're going to see it anywhere, Temple of Anubis is certainly one of the maps where it's more likely.
And it's one of those situations like we saw in our last best of 5 where if that McCree goes down, there is nothing to stop the Widowmaker, and Energy is just going to pick you apart.
Yeah, well, I'd say behind the Reinhardt shield you do okay, but you know, how long is that going to last when the rest of the team is jumping right on top of you?
God's going to switch it up, looks like. Sad time,
Yep.
so will be a Reaper.
Oh, well.
No dice for us today.
Yeah, and Energy has been reliant on him quite a bit over the last patch to get the job done on Reaper, and he's done a pretty good job of that. And here we go. So, Temple of Anubis, MVP Space, trying to defend. See if they can hold point B. That's really where it could all end.
Take a peek right there. Good poke.
Yep.
That we get from MVP Space so far. They're all going to line up. But this is one of those things, they do like to boost onto this first point in the Anubis. Energy is definitely boosting now with the Mei. Here we go.
Yep, shield. They're going to speed him up with the Lucio. There's the Mei wall boost. Oh, but they get knocked back by Pelka, I believe. And that push stuffed. It almost never works, but it's a cute play. MVP Space going to get an easy hold here, though.
I mean, if you do research on Energy, you know they like to do that on the Anubis.
yeah.
It's happened a million times. Dummy gets a hook to the face.
Yeah.
And Seagull trying to be cute. It was cute.
We see that push from time to time, and you know, if anyone's going to execute it well, it's going to be Energy. But yeah, like you said, you need to keep that Reinhardt in the front. And as soon as that shield got turned, or something happened where the Lucio right click got through, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, Pelka played that well. Gods, guess what, we are going to see the Widowmaker after all. He is going to make the transition. They're going to try and come for the flank and turn the Reinhardt shield. Here's where the Widowmaker shines. What's Gods going to be able to pick up?
That's right, look at that, firing right past the shield.
Nice. Poro actually going on the flank right now, trying to get Gods. He actually kills him. Nice job. Gods gets picked off. Good reaction from MVP Space.
Right, Milo with the nano boost, so we'll see if they can get anything done with that. June gets Milo with the Deadeye, taken out himself by Enigma. The push continuing. Enigma actually with that nano boost, or rather, I'm sorry, it's going to be the, Enigma with the nano boost. It's going to help MVP Space, though. Or it's not going to help. Energy, rather.
Poro actually got a really good play right there, and Reinhardt, they turned the Reinhardt shield to get the Widowmaker into position, but Poro had the read, went out, hooked the Widowmaker, and then looped all the way back around behind the attack coming in from NRG, so managed to clean up that fight. So MVP Space responding well to the switch. Gods now onto the McCree.
What they did really well against the Widowmaker, too, was hide behind the pillars when the Reinhardt shield got turned, so they didn't really get a lot of use out of it. Energy trying to run past, but they get held up by that Graviton Surge, and MVP Space holding pretty well so far, man.
Nice flashbang, though, stopping that charge just barely, so Gods makes the play.
Yeah, but is he going to keep making the plays? It looks like he just gets split spawned to me a bit. It's going to be tough.
Did get the Reinhardt, though, so they won't have a shield, at least on the pressure, depending on how long they wait for Gods here.
Yep.
Milo going to make the first assault. Seagull come back in, and they're not going to go for the boost. Hook will miss from Poro.
Nearly getting peaks there. Looking for the skill from the McCree, grabs Gods and gets him. That's a big
Poro's
pick.
been great.
Nano boost now as he does a whole hog, gets slowed down by the Earth Shatter into the Graviton Surge. Reinhardt's run into each other. Nano boost though onto Milo. He's really low though. Can't get too aggressive. Now gets healed up again. And Poro looking to push Energy off that point. They have the Blizzard protecting them as they gain some time. MVP Space really sticking around to defend this, but it looks like they're going to lose this point A.
Yeah, they have to go. June needs to get back. Oh, he's going to get picked off. That is huge. Then get this. Nope, not going to go for the Roadhog. Just going to rush the point, actually. So they're just going to leave Poro there and try for the all-out assault, Doa.
Yeah, man, that's what you do when the team defends too long on point A. You just rush point B, and let's see if they can hold it now. Earth Shatter comes in. Milo does get a few, though. Goes for the charge. Doesn't hit anybody. Meanwhile, has to back away. They are going to get the point. Oh, it's so close. A tiny bit of Energy takes this match. June gets two, though, with the Deadeye. Softens up Energy with the rest of it, though. So close. Do they actually hold here?
Still there. Nice flashbang. Picks him up. Wow. Whoa. June with the Deadeye. So close. Poro getting back in the nick of time. Switches over to the Mei now for the defense. But that was incredibly close for MVP Space.
It is so easy to lose point B if you defend point A a little bit too aggressively and then have that happen where the enemy just gets a chance to rush you.
Credit to NRG, though. They didn't stick around to kill Poro. They just left.
Yeah,
they just got the hell out of there onto the second point and able to get there so much faster than the Roadhog.
Yeah. All right, Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt now for MVP Space. We'll see what they can do. Earth Shatter does come in. It does stop Milo. Gets taken out of the fight by the charge. There's a Graviton Surge from Space as well as Daly tries to defend this point here. Chasing after Pooks over the wall, gets the big health pack. And it looks like MVP Space is going to be able to defend, but again, just one tick is all NRG needs to take this entire best of 5.
And I really like where NRG is, Doa. So they traded Nano Boosts right there.
Right.
But what do they have left? They have the Blizzard, and look at Enigma. Coming up with the Graviton Surge, they got MVP's Graviton Surge. So if they get a good Graviton Surge combo with the Blizzard, they can just outright win right here. Good patience.
Yeah. They got to be aware of the same thing that stopped him last time, which is people not paying attention to June, and he gets a good Deadeye off. He does have it up. We'll see if they can recreate that success again. Gods has that Pulse Bomb, goes in, is it the Big Bang? And they don't kill anyone. Looks like Sound Barrier coming through just in time, but the Blizzards lasting just long enough for Energy to push MVP back, and they get the point. That's the match. MVP Space not quite able to defend point B. And Energy takes a 3-0.
They played just a little bit too defensively there, Doa. And that was a mistake, not having anybody on the point. Yeah, they were shoved off a little bit by the ultimates coming on through, but the Sound Barrier was good, and then a little bit of a lack of communication as they backed off just a hair too far.
Yeah, well, that happens. You have to back off in some of those fights. Things like the Blizzard zone you, and when there's only one tick remaining, you lose it quicker than you really realize.
Well, I'm glad we got to see a little bit more out of MVP Space today, Doa. I really like the way the Toro was reacting to the Widowmaker and playing the flanks as the Roadhog. That was more encouraging, but Energy has still a relatively easy win. 2 3-0s today.
Yeah. Well, what can you say? A little bit surprised about the first one. Thought maybe Africa Blue could take a map off of Rogue, and
oh, for sure.
It seemed like it might be happening here and there, but Rogue rising to the occasion. Meanwhile, MVP Space